In this video, we're going to look at the first part of the class I teach on motivating your team. This is one of many lessons in the Service Academy course that is designed to help service managers move from being a fixer of equipment to a fixer of people. When we think about motivating the team, the first question that comes to mind is, why do we need to motivate our team? And the goal of motivation really is to get people to want to go from one place to another, to move, not necessarily physically, but to change where they are to somewhere else. We think about it in the sense of in the service department, normally we're going to want to motivate our technicians to improve in their efficiency, to become better troubleshooters, to communicate better with the clients, so many different ways that we're going to want our technicians to improve. And so we need to provide motivation. And an example of that is you can have 10 birds sitting on a wire. If 9 decide to leave, how many birds are sitting on the wire? And when I ask that question of service managers, many times they'll tell me there's 1 bird left. But we really don't know. The fact that someone makes a decision to do something doesn't mean they'll actually do it. We can think of it as like we would New Year's Eve resolutions. People make resolutions to work harder, to learn a new skill, to lose weight, whatever it is. And most of those are unfulfilled because they lacked the motivation to follow through on a decision they made. Before we can motivate our team, we really needed to dig deeper into motivation. We need to think about what it is that helps motivate people. And there's a gentleman named Maslow, and most people are familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. But it's fulfilling needs is what moves people to change, to motivate them. We created a diagram of the needs that people have, and we're going to look at that diagram and see how it applies in motivating a team. The diagram starts down at you can say the foundation of it is at the bottom, and it's the physiological needs: food, water, shelter. You can think of in any situation, those are the things that are most important to life. If you were thinking about survival in the wilderness, those things, food, water, warmth, and a place to rest, are critical to them. Next level up are the things that need to keep us safe. So the things that provide the protection we need in life to make sure that we're okay. Above that, then we start to have this need to become part of a team. We want to be associated with other people. Most humans are not loners. They gravitate toward and have a circle of friends around them. So as a manager, one of the things we want to do is create a team approach, let's say, in our department, so that people see other employees as part of their team, not as their competition, but we want to motivate them to become part of a team. And we understand that the more they feel like part of the team, the better motivated they're going to be. The next level up in motivation, and this is the one that we want to use as much as we can, is the need for esteem. They want to feel good about themselves. They want to think, oh, I do a good job. And so that's important to them. And then the top level it's called self-actualization. But that's where, as individuals, we start to be self-motivated. We don't really need a lot of external motivation because we have this internal drive to make us try to be the best, to be as good as we can be. Now, sadly, most people don't operate at that level, but the ones that are really successful are the ones that learn to be self-motivated. They have a fire in them that drives them to be as good as they can be, no matter what field they're in. So we're going to talk now about the factors that motivate people and how we can use that in, again, thinking about it in the service department, in trying to be a better manager. And there's 2 different ways it's described. They both have kind of the same context. And the first one is pain and pleasure. The next one is fear and reward. And pain and fear operate at the bottom 2 levels of Maslow's hierarchy. Pleasure and reward operate in the 2 middle segments of that. And the more we can operate on the pleasure and reward side, the more effective we'll be as a manager. Now, we think about it, say, well, what's fear? Well, if you don't get better, you're going to lose your job. If you don't get better, we're not going to give you a raise. Those kinds of things really start to be on the pain and the fear side. We want to operate on the things that generate positive motivation, not negative. And if we think about in our lives, the things that motivate us, a lot of times we're motivated by our faith. We might be motivated by our patriotism. We could be motivated by our taking care of our family. And that's probably one of the strongest ones for most of us. We want our families to be successful and to be safe and secure. We want to make sure they have a nice life. So that's a motivating factor. We also, most of us like that pat on the back, that reward for doing something right. We like other people to acknowledge it and see it. That helps build our esteem. So the question that comes up is, how can you motivate your team? And we're going to go through and we're going to talk about that and some more pieces to it, because it's important that we think about our teams and figuring out what it is that we have that are within our ability to control, that can move individuals and the team toward becoming more profitable, providing better customer satisfaction, better customer service. And I asked this question, and we're going to talk about this too, is will the same motivation work for everyone? And most of my students will tell me no, they think it's not. So we're going to go through and look at how different types of motivation may be necessary in the same team. Now, that's just a small taste about the first third of a class I teach on motivation. And as I said, it's one of many lessons in the course I provide.